Swanson.
Hello. I think I moved the couch while I walked up. How are you? Great.
Like
okay, good.
I'm gonna take
I'm
a nap.
sinking
I
in
know. I'm
this.
just gonna. if you hear snoring, it's not me.
Oh, it'd be because I'm boring you to tears.
No, no. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Actually.
Yeah, I was super glad to again circumstances, hurricanes. I'm from Orlando.
Oh, okay,
so,
yeah. That's where I was headed.
That's where you're headed.
They had to
and,
postpone, and then this show called my agent, said, "Is Christy available? Could she drive down?" So here I am.
So get you up here.
Yeah.
So you say drive down. So where are you from?
South Jersey. I'm from Southern California,
Right.
but now I'm in like South Jersey near
South Jersey,
Philly.
okay.
Yeah.
So how long is that drive then?
It was supposed to be 4 or 4.5, but it was like 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
It's not too bad. I mean, you figure you drive to Philly airport and wait.
I have, right.
And then get on the plane, and then it's like delayed 15 minutes. It's just like 6.5 one dozen to the other. So you might as well just
100%.
drive it.
Right. Do you like driving? Do you like road trips?
Yes, I do.
What's the longest road trip you've taken?
Oh my God. The longest one that I did without sleep was 24 hours. I drove my girlfriend Joanne and my goddaughter from California to I don't know if you know San Diego, Coronado very well, but from Coronado to Dallas. And I just went on a beeline, like I just kept going. And then I was in New Mexico, and we were in the middle of the night gassing up, and there was a cop in the gas station, like, you know, getting coffee. And so I was like, what are the odds, like, I could get, you know, a police escort to State Line? And he's like, sure, I'll do that for you. I was like, oh, awesome. So he gave me, so I got to go like high speed, you know, to State Line, which helped me get there quicker. But it was just so funny. Like, I just randomly, I'm just one of those kind of people, like, I'll just ask, because if you say no, you say no. Like, who cares?
Right, you have nothing to lose.
At least I asked, and he had nothing else going on, so he said, sure, I'll give you a ride to State Line. So yeah, I just followed him. We were going, you know, 95 or whatever. It was funny.
That is awesome. I have a new trick to ask at the convenience stores now whenever I see an officer.
Yeah.
So I do have I have a couple Buffy questions before I get into some more stuff that I'm interested in. But of course, you know, we have to talk Buffy. So I want to talk about the first time that you saw the script.
Oh.
Do you remember? So did you see the script? Did you before you auditioned, or did they give you sides, or did you see the full script after you were cast? Do you remember?
I don't remember if I read the script before I auditioned. I just remember hearing about the project through my friend Luke Perry, because he came up to me and he was like, oh my God, Swanee's my nickname, and he's like, Swanee, oh my God, I'm doing this movie. And it's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's so hilarious. Oh my God, you're so perfect for it. You have to audition for it, you know? And he goes, you're the perfect person to play this role. So I was his choice for the role, but I had to go into the studio, you know, and earn the role on my own, obviously. So yeah, I just remember reading sides. When did I read the script? Did I ever read the script? No, just kidding. So I don't remember if it was before or after. I'm so sorry. Dude, it was 1991.
Right, that was only like 10 years ago, right, everybody? That's what it feels. I mean, you know, you think 90s. It's like, oh yeah, that was like a dozen years ago.
No, 91 is when I was auditioning for it, and end of 91. And yeah, I was like 21.
When did you realize that it had gained a cult status following?
Well, that we couldn't predict, you know, like most movies, you could have this great script, or, you know, the movie, it's going well on the set and everyone's really excited about it coming out, but sometimes marketing or editing the film and the release of it, it's a crapshoot, you know, you just never know. and we didn't do really great in the theaters and with ticket sales. Our biggest competition, I think, that weekend was Death Becomes Her, which was a great movie and a huge success. And so it got some legs, but it really was Blockbuster Video that really turned it in. You know what I mean? It was like a Friday night rental. Like, oh, what's this? I think I'll rent this. You know, like that's kind of how it got its legs, and it just went from there. And now it's sort of like a cult classic, I guess, which is pretty. I don't know. I'm honored. That's cool.
I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, as you said, 1992. Again, 12 years ago. But it's one of those things that it's a project that is going to follow you for the rest of your life. Which I think, anytime you get one of those opportunities, it's always a blessing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had such a great time making the movie. It was so much fun, and I'm athletic and physical, so doing all the stunts and the fighting and everything else was just a blast for me. And then I was able to go on and do more roles and have a successful career, and then get into my 30s and 40s and play the mom in the Hallmark movies, and so it's been a good run.
That was going to be my next question about the stunts. Did they come to you and say, "Oh, well, we have a stunt double, but if you want one," or were you like, "No, like I want to try this"?
Well, Terry Leonard was our stunt coordinator. I'll never forget him. They call him the $6 million man because he's got pins like everywhere in his body. He's done so many stunts. I think he was famous for what was that movie where they Romancing the Stone, where they go over the waterfall? I think he did the fall over the waterfall. So he's a good old cowboy, and I'm like, okay, I want to do as many stunts as I can. I want to do the fighting, and I have a dance background, so I could learn the fighting through choreography. And I said, I really want to do the flying sidekick. I can't do the acrobats, like the back flips or whatever, but I want to do the flying sidekick. And he goes, well, if you can practice it and show me you can do it, then I'll let you do it. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things. And I was like, game on. So I just practiced it with our martial arts guy. And I actually only trained for 10 hours. So it was 2 hours a day for 5 days, and that's all I trained.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I know. I was better at the fighting than I was at the cheerleading things, because the dance. If you watch the opening of the movie really closely, you'll see I'm a beat behind everybody else because I'm like, I didn't have a lot of time to learn that dance. The rest of the girls did. So I had to be the leader. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah.
A popular thing now is to keep mementos, costumes, things like that from projects, from movies. Was that a big thing 12 years ago? Did you think to take home any mementos from the movie?
I've never been that way as far as like taking things, because it's I don't know. Especially, it's hard to explain, but when you're working like 15 hours a day in a costume, like by the time the movie's over, you just want to burn it. Like you don't even want it, and you just want to get rid of it. So you're like, yeah, finally, we're done with this thing, But they did give me the wardrobe department. They gave me all the Doc Martens that I wore in the movie. And some of the martial arts shoes that I wore. But I ended up not even really keeping them all, which I'm kicking myself for. But they wouldn't fit me anyway now, because like I was a size 7 and now I'm a size 8 shoe, so it's okay that I got rid of them. I donated them,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In a crossover that nobody has asked for, do you think that Buffy could take out Edward Cullen?
Who's Edward Cullen?
From Twilight.
Oh, I never saw Twilight.
Well, you never saw. That makes one.
I
of
don't
us.
watch movies or TV.
No?
No, not really.
What did you? I mean, what did you do for the entirety of? Okay, as a question, what did you?
I mean, when I was a young kid, I loved movies and TV. But then when I started making a lot of movies, I got to the point where I'd like watch a movie in the theater, and I see things that other people don't, like continuity problem, or like it takes me out of the story, and I get distracted by like a cut, or I see the lighting changed, and why did that happen? And I don't know. I have like ADD, so.
No, no, I get that completely. I get that completely. Where you're like,
Okay.
oh well, yeah, I understand that. So what
Yeah.
did you do for the entirety of 2020 when we weren't allowed to go out and all we had was like Netflix and Paramount Plus and
Oh, when we
watching
were
TV?
stuck in our
Yeah, when we
homes?
were stuck in our homes. Were you a banana bread baker? Is that what?
Yeah, I did do a lot of cooking, a lot of crock pots and stuff. But my son and I did a lot of jigsaw puzzles, and we did watch Netflix. I'd never really watched it before, but he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch like Tiger King." I'm like, "Okay," and so we did like jigsaw puzzles and watched Tiger King, and then what was the other one? Was it Up the Creek or Schitt's Creek or something?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that.
One of the first projects that you had did was Wes Craven's Deadly Friend.
Deadly Friend. That
Yeah.
was my first starring role in a movie. Yeah,
So you obviously
like in a feature. Yeah.
from early on got your hooks into this nightmare weekend horror type genre.
Mhm.
Were you a horror fan
No.
growing up? No.
No, not at all. I mean, I when did Jaws come out? What year was that? I don't know. I just remember being way too young when I saw the movie Jaws, because it still terrifies me to this day, and I know that it's all fake, you know,
You're the,
because
sec- you're
I
the second
do like
person that I've talked to today that was like, nope, Jaws.
Jaws did it to me. I don't watch sci. I'll make sci-fi movies and I'll do horror movies. Like I enjoy doing them, but I don't really like, you know, it. I can watch them and I know that they're fake, but it's always the sound editors that get the sound editors that make it so scary, you know, and the music and the underscore and all that stuff. So, you know, it's just not my thing. I like docu-TV, I like docu-movies and stuff like that.
Now you've done horror, you've done sci-fi with with Buffy, as you said, you've done the Hallmark Christmas, you've
Yeah,
done
Hallmark
some of those '90s comedies, Dude, Where's
Oh,
My
yeah.
Car, Hot Shots. Is there a particular genre that you find yourself gravitating to or want to do?
Um, I would like to do something that's Western, maybe, you know, something like that. I've done something with horses before, but just something kind of Western would be cool. But I was just saying today, been watching all these cool costumes walking around. It's the best people watching, right? And I've been seeing all these amazing clowns walking around. I'm like, that's the next role that I want to do. I want to be a crazy clown.
Be a crazy clown.
Yeah, that would be fun.
What do you guys? Would you guys see that?
I want to put that out there.
wanna put that
Yeah,
out?
I'm gonna call my agent Monday and see. Are there any roles for a female crazy clown?
I mean, that's the thing, though, right? Like, there hasn't really been
A female?
right.
I don't
especially a
think so.
female
Can you think
lead.
of one? Anybody think anyone?
There's an untapped. That's an
Who?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. I don't know what
But
her
I
character
don't
was like.
necessarily. I don't know. That's a great.
She was
question.
more of a badass like fighter, right?
I mean, yes, but she was a. She
Like
was
the joke,
she
or
was a
more like a
doctor
Joker?
who. It's a. We don't have.
No, I mean like a creepy
Like I'm too
clown.
much of a nerd. We don't have that much time.
I mean like a creepy
Yeah,
clown.
but a creepy clown, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's an untapped market.
I would
That's
like to
next.
be a creepy clown.
That's-
Christy the creepy clown.
By the way, as I mentioned, we do have a microphone right there. If you have questions, feel free to line up. One thing. So I'm a huge sports fan. I love
sports. too.
I had a gap in between my schedule today and went back to my room and watched some college football. But I'm also a big hockey fan. Can you
Oh.
tell me about your life and what you have in the hockey realm?
In youth hockey, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very involved in youth hockey. I mean, I've always loved the NHL and the sport of hockey. But my husband is former Olympian. He was a pair skater, and he retired. And and then he started coaching young hockey players on their edges, right? So I found a fun way, it's just sort of a creative outlet for me. I go out on the ice and I film him and his students and, do all their, I even record all their falls and everything, and I make videos of them that on Instagram, which are really fun. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's fun. It's fun to be out there with the kids.
So who's your NHL team?
I don't have an NHL team.
You don't have one?
No, I don't. Like, I honestly like all of them. I appreciate all of the players. And I mean, come on, they get traded so much. It's like, I don't want to get attached. And then you find out the player you love is like now you got to buy all new jerseys and everything. Yeah, just kidding. But my husband's a Boston Bruins fan, and then my son is a Coyotes fan, but now a Utah fan. So, because they changed.
Yep, they changed. Yeah, entire states.
Yeah. But I really enjoy like working with the kids over the last, oh God, when did we start doing that? 2012? I started filming them and just watch them grow over the years, whether they go onto juniors or they go, to ECHL. I can't even remember all the abbreviations, college and or whatever they do. It's just fun to watch them grow and get better. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that you and your husband are into that and helping the next that next group.
The next generation. Hi. I was like, what's in his hands? Oh, it's a camera. Okay, yeah. All right.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Mary.
Hi, Mary.
And I absolutely love Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was just wondering with, all the talent that was in that cast, from Luke Perry, David Arquette, and Paul Rubens, how it was, if there's anything behind the scenes, like was everybody cracking up all the time, or any stories you can share about that?
Well, we did have a very interesting cast on Buffy, that's for sure. I'm the kind of person that gets along with everybody, and our crew was amazing, and our cast was amazing. We were always laughing and having fun. We had a lot of big personalities on the set. You've got Rutger Hauer and Donald Sutherland and Paul Rubens, and he makes everybody laugh all the time. So it was just such a great experience, and I had so much fun. Like when I look back on it, and even to this day, like about a month ago, we were doing a documentary of Luke that Jason Priestley is producing. I'm guessing it's going to be out in the spring, maybe. And that was really hard to do, but it was cathartic. But it was just, just talking about him and how much he believed in me and wanted me to play that role, and how important that was to him, and how passionate he was about all the cast and all the characters in the film. And even though he couldn't even be there that much because he was really moonlighting, like he was on 90210 in the day and coming to our set at night because we shot a lot of night shoots. And so, I look back on those days, and it's really sad. Like everybody's gone now, and I miss them all. I miss Paul. I miss Paul calling me on my birthday every year, and it's just sad. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and my question for you, Christy, is were you given what would be the best advice you ever gotten for acting?
What's the best advice?
Best advice you've gotten for acting?
Oh, the best advice I got for acting. That's a good question. I don't really remember getting a lot of advice. It's something that I really truly explored on my own. Is just something that I, as a young girl, just knew. I just had an innate feeling and knowledge about what I wanted to do and how to do it. And trying to remember, I worked with a lot of the great ones, like when I was 16, I worked with Louise Fletcher. And I watched her, you know, I was very much a sponge when I would work with, you know, Suzanne Plachette or Donald Sutherland or anybody that I worked with in the 80s even. I would always soak up what they were doing and watch them, you know, kind of like a sponge. But then as I got older, into my 20s, and I started working with teenagers, or I was in my 30s and now I'm playing the mom and I'm working with younger people, they always ask me, like, what advice? Can you give me any good advice? And I always gave them advice, and my advice was be jack of all trades, master of none. What I mean is learn how to do everything you possibly can. You don't have to do it perfect. You don't have to go out and compete at it or do the, but, you know, teach yourself how to play an instrument, learn how to snowboard, learn how to do like all these physical things, learn how to fight, know how to dance, like sing, whatever, like just so that if you ever get a role where you have to fake it to make it, you know, you at least have those fundamental understandings of what that art or that sport or whatever. So try to really just be jack of all trades, master of none, and that's because that's what I did. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Aaron. Hello.
Hello.
What's your
Hi.
My name is Christy. I'm Patty.
name?
Hi.
Yeah. The question I had was, out of all the characters that you've portrayed, who would you say was the most challenging and why?
Of all the characters that I portrayed, which would be the most challenging? Oof. Usually the roles, anytime I had to play a scientist or a doctor or a nurse or any of those kinds of roles, those were always the hardest for me. And it could be like the smallest role or a big role or small movie, TV show, it didn't matter. Anytime I had to have dialogue that wasn't in my regular, normal, everyday repertoire,
Okay.
it was always very hard to learn. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
try to
like,
pronounce like certain medications or certain
yeah, you're talking
diagnoses.
about medication, something medical, or playing a lawyer, and oh God, that's the hardest, I would say. That's always the most challenging, at least for me, because I'm a dyslexic,
Okay.
and nobody ever knew that my entire career, because I kept it a secret because I was worried if anybody found out that I was dyslexic, I'd never get hired. And so I hid it, and I found ways to memorize my lines, and a lot of it had to do with my movement in blocking. I'd know that I was saying that line over there, that line's going out over here. You know, it was very challenging for me, but I had a way of getting away with it, and but those roles were always the hardest.
Well,
Even
thank
to
you.
audition for, and I didn't get many of them because I just couldn't. I couldn't get that I couldn't memorize that kind of verbiage. Does that
Same.
make sense?
Yeah, I'm right
Okay.
there with you. So, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patty. Hi, what's
Hi.
your name?
Yeah, my name is Remy. I have a question you've probably been asked 5 million times, then a fun follow-up. So, what did you think of Sarah Michelle Gellar's portrayal of Buffy? And follow-up, if you could have played anybody or any type of role in the show, who would you have wanted to play?
Well, I do get that question a lot, and the thing is that a lot of people say, "Well, how did you feel about the TV show coming out?" And they didn't ask you to do it. I'm like, "Well, why would they?" It was like 7 years later. I was 22 playing a teenager, and I think I would have been 30 around that time. I think came out 7 years later, right? So my whole thing with the TV series was I was very excited. I thought, oh my God, this is so cool that Buffy because she's a strong character. She's a great female role model. She's badass. She can do things. And all these young girls are going to get to watch her and this character every week. And that's what made me excited about the series. Kind of like I grew up on like Bionic Woman and Wonder Woman and stuff like that, or Bewitched. Like I just loved all those female characters when I was growing up. So for Buffy to be in that realm and for young girls to see and look up to, I was thrilled about that. Absolutely. And I don't know what to tell you what role I would have played because I never watched the series, so I don't know like the whole storyline behind
Like what
it.
type of role? Like a teacher or a monster or something? Like,
Oh,
I don't know.
and they never asked any of us to come and do like a cameo or yeah, they didn't ask Luke, they didn't ask Paul, they didn't ask anyone to come and be in it, which is fine, like whatever, that's okay. But if I were to be in the series, I don't know. I would leave that up to Joss Whedon to decide. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Hello. Does this baby talk?
He does not.
Okay.
I'm Jessica. This is Maverick.
Hi.
We have a question that I'm sure you've been asked before. But how funky is your chicken?
How funky is your chicken? So do you want to know the story behind that?
Yes.
Okay. So the cheerleading squad was me and the other girls, the girls who played my friends in the movie, and then my actual cousin, Erica, was one of the she was cheerleader 1, right? And so we were there shooting some, like, I guess the basketball scenes, and the director came up and she goes, Christy, we have to, we just realized we need like a cheer in between this scene and this scene. We don't have it written in the script, so we need to put something in. Do you or your cousin, because they knew my cousin was a cheerleader, and they were like, is there something? I went to Erica, and I said, Erica, what was those we did what did we do? Firecracker, firecracker, boom, 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 so we showed them that. And then there was another one I can't remember. And I oh wait, the funky chicken, remember we used to do that when we were kids? She's like, yeah. So we did that for them. They go, that's it, we want the funky chicken. And so that's how it ended up in the movie. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. So as we are here in October, it's still hurricane season in Florida, but we are here in October. It's a Halloween season. Do you have any Halloween traditions that you have tried to carry over from your childhood, from your younger years to today?
Well, we decorate every year. My family and I decorate every year. I grew up with the decorations and going trick-or-treating and doing all that stuff, so I raised my son that way. I always loved going, when I was living in California, a lot of friends have Halloween parties, so I love this time of year. It's my favorite. Yeah, I love fall and I love winter. So.
Now, I want to get your feelings before we go. You've had some great projects, great films, television shows over the years. But as opposed to live theater or something where you get that instant response, you don't necessarily get that feedback. Can you tell us what it's like coming to an event like Nightmare Weekend, where you get to hear the stories of and talk about the funky chicken, from people who that movie or Dude, Where's My Car, or something like that means to them.
Well, it's interesting because I tell this to my fans a lot. We talk about it a lot at the tables, and I talk to other people about it. The thing that I love about these shows is, you got to remember, I started in the business in 1979, and I was 9 years old. And so I grew up in the business where you received fan mail, right? So before we had these Comic-Cons and these shows that you would get to meet your actual fans, it just didn't happen. You got to meet your fans through mail. So you get the letters, and it's, I saw you on Knots Landing, or I saw you on this or that, or Mr. Boogedy, blah, blah, blah. And then they might they want to, like, your headshot or a picture, and you send it back. So smash cut to, I can't remember my first con, it had to have been in 2000 maybe, or I don't know when they all started, but when it started, I thought, this is so amazing to be able to meet people face to face, and they can tell you their stories or what made them laugh or what made them cry, or ask you questions about something that they would never get such an instant answer for. And that's what I love about it. And I love that it's, to me, these shows are, it's like, it's interactive, it's live fan mail. You know what I mean? And we get to share stories. And I've had a lot of girls over the years come up to me in tears, like crying. And I cry because I cry easy because I'm a very sensitive person. But someone will say, like, I was bulimic or I wanted to kill myself when I was a teenager, and Buffy saved my life, and it changed my... it gave me strength, and I could look up to her, and like those kinds of situations, they're so severe and strong, but I like for someone to, they've grown to be able to come and share that story with me, to humble themselves to share that, means so much to me. And I'm like, oh my God, you are making, like you've healed yourself, you know what I mean? So anytime that you can, like whether it's something that was so traumatic in your life and you watched a movie and it sort of like made you have a new perspective, or something that made you laugh when you were feeling really down, you know what I mean? Like that to me, just that's what entertainment is all about, is to be able to get out of your real world or your day-to-day, and you can watch a movie and just like not have to think about anything, and then that can affect you emotionally, whether it be happy or sad. So I love these shows because of the sharing. I like the sharing. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that for you, that you get to share those moments with your fans.
Yeah.
And generations of fans too.
Yeah.
Little Maverick will be coming to your table in a couple of years.
Yeah, little Maverick.
So before we go, are there any last words here for these great fans here in Richmond?
Well, I want to say thank you for having me here in Richmond. I really like it here. It's been very nice. Everyone's been so wonderful. The fans have been amazing, and I hope you guys are having fun. Are you all going to be here tomorrow? Yeah? There's a lot of events tonight, right?
There's a lot of events.
There's a lot going on.
We go till 2 a.m.
Oh, my Lord.
Anybody going to be with me here till 2 a.m.? Okay.
No, I'll be 10 toes up at like 9 p.m. probably.
I'm going to be so jealous.
Yeah. So it was great meeting you all, and thank you for having me, and thank you for the questions. And I hope I answered all your questions.
Nightmare Weekend, please, one more time, give it up for Kristy Swanson.
Thank you.